Good morning to our learners. Our topic for today is about cardiovascular health, or how are we going to keep our cardiovascular system in good condition, okay, until we grow old, okay? So let's start. What are some cardiovascular diseases? So since we want to keep our cardiovascular system or circulatory system in good condition, we need to discuss some of the most famous or the top cardiovascular diseases in the world. But since your book is an American based book, so here the surveys are mostly from United States. So the most common diseases that we have now for cardiovascular diseases are atherosclerosis and hypertension. So this is the most common. So let's discuss atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis is a condition in which an artery wall thickens as the result of buildup of fatty materials. Why is it building up? Because we are consuming fatty food. What are the example of fatty food? Fatty foods such as uh, animal meat. It's not bad to eat animal meat like chicken, beef, turkey. It's not bad, but it's bad to consume it in over portion. So when you consume it in a lot of portion, that is really bad. I know you see pizza here. Yes, pizza, salty food, chips, nuts, uh, fries, nuggets is really bad. When you, again, I will repeat, when you consume it in overly manner, when you consume it too much, that is bad. Now, it says here that atherosclerosis is the thickening of the wall of the artery. Okay, so remember the artery. Artery is one of the three kinds of blood vessels, right? So artery is responsible for moving away the blood. So imagine this is our artery. So since fatty materials is building up, so it started in normal phase or normal condition. So when we continually eating fatty food, it started to build up. Okay? It will start to build up when we are consuming too much, at the same time when we are not burning the fats. When we are not burning the fats, it started to build up. When when are you going to burn this? Okay? Through the means of proper exercise and healthy lifestyle, you could prevent this condition. Imagine if the artery is narrow, the blood flow is not flowing properly. So I have here the real picture of an artery with buildup of fatty materials. Okay, that is a cholesterol here, the yellow one, and then this is the blood. So imagine if you have an artery like this one. Do you think the blood can flow easily? Okay, so when this thing happen, you will really having hard time. Okay, doing many things because blood is not flowing properly. So here, atherosclerosis can develop in the coronary arteries, where coronary arteries is in our heart. It can eventually lead to heart attack. Oh my goodness, so this is really bad. So when this thing is happening, it could lead us to heart attack, and then heart attack could lead to death. Heart attack is happening when the flow of blood in our heart is blocked. So imagine there is a blockage here. Okay, I will illustrate that one here. Imagine if we're going to put more fatty substance here or material. So it will have a blockage here. So heart attack is happening when there is a blockage here and then blood cannot flow in this area. It could lead to death. So that is atherosclerosis. But we could prevent that. Okay. There is a treatment. Okay, for mild atherosclerosis, usually it includes a low-fat diet and exercise. So that is very simple. So by just consuming a proper food or doing a healthy diet and doing an active lifestyle, we could prevent that one. Medication to lower the level of cholesterol and fats in blood is also applicable. So taking medicine is also good. It depends on your doctor's prescription. That's why visiting the doctor regularly is also way of preventing atherosclerosis. Okay, so let's proceed to the next slide. Relate the cause and effect. In the text, circle the cause of atherosclerosis. So we circle here the cause, which is the building up of fatty materials, which is a cholesterol. And then another here is underline the effect of atherosclerosis. So we underline here reduced flow of blood. Okay, so when there is a reduction of flow in the blood, a decrease in oxygen that will flow in our artery. Remember that blood carries the oxygen. So when oxygen is not delivered in the entire body, it can cause problem. Another problem that results of this one is heart attack. Okay. Now, here it shows, the photo shows here is a healthy artery. So this is a photo that shows the healthy artery, and then this is a picture that shows that the artery with atherosclerosis. So if you can observe, this is narrower compared to this. So meaning this part in the wall is the fatty materials. Question number 1. Interpret the photos. Label the artery that you think shows the atherosclerosis and explain your choice. We choose this one because the artery wall is thicker. Wait. Okay, the artery wall is thicker. Then number 2, why do you think animal products are high in cholesterol or fatty materials? Because animal meat makes cholesterol. Okay, so the meat of animal is really rich in fat. But as I mentioned, it's not bad to eat animal meat, okay, as long as you consume it in correct or proper portion. Let's proceed to the next page. This is the next disease or illness that causes problem to our circulatory system, hypertension. In other words, hypertension is high blood pressure. So when our blood pressure is really high, it could lead us to illnesses which is called hypertension. So what is hypertension? This is a disease in which person's blood pressure is consistently higher than the normal. So what is the normal blood pressure? The normal blood pressure is 140 over 90. Okay, what does it mean? This number will tells us the number of this one. 140 in medical term, that is systolic pressure. What does it mean? Systolic pressure is the blood pumps out of the heart. This numbers represents the number of blood pumps, okay, out of our heart. And then the other number here is called the diastolic pressure. This is a force of the heart rest between the heartbeat. So blood pressure has two forces. The first force is the blood pumps out of the heart, and then the second force is called the heart rest between the heartbeat. Okay? How are we going to see this blood pressure? By the use of device. We have here two pictures. This is the old way of getting blood pressure by using stethoscope and then the arm cuff. You could know your blood pressure. But we have now the digital blood pressure device. Okay, the number here, 118 here, is the systolic or the blood pumps count. And then the lower number here, which is 78, is the diastolic, which is, it represents the heart rest between the heartbeat. Okay, most of the people now, we have this device. Usually when you have a adult person at home or elderly at home, they need this one because basically most adult people, they have a high blood pressure, but not all. Okay, high blood pressure is not only for adult people. Okay, you could also acquire as young as you are now high blood pressure when you have a unhealthy lifestyle. Now here it says hypertension and atherosclerosis are closely related. Why? As the arteries narrows, blood pressure increases. So when you have this artery, so meaning blood pressure is higher because blood is having hard time flowing. Okay, so the blood pressure is higher when you have a thicker wall of artery here. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Let's try to apply it. Many people in the United States have hypertension. The graph shows hypertension data collected by gender and age between 2003 and 2006. So this is a bar graph. The blue one represents the women and then the orange one represents the men. And then in this axis, it represents the age. And then in this axis, it represents the number of men and women or the population. So the first question, it says, read the graph. In what age group is the difference in blood pressure between women and men are lowest? The answer is in this age bracket. Why? Because the difference is almost the same. Compared to this one, okay, the blood pressure of men and women is high in difference. Same also in this one and same also in this one. That's why the answer is here, meaning the difference is less. That's why this is the answer. Next, discuss with your partner or to your, I know you're at home now, to anyone, okay, why you think more people with high blood pressure as they get older. Okay, the answer is as we grow older, okay, the storage of fat and cholesterol can build up over time due to less of activity and wrong diet. So when we are really getting older, our activity is becoming lesser. That's why I'm encouraging you girls, keep your active lifestyle and choose a correct and right diet. Okay, so regardless of your diet, some is doing vegetarian diet, some is doing keto diet. As long as you are doing it correctly and doing an active lifestyle, we could prevent high blood pressure and atherosclerosis. Okay, so don't be afraid. I know this is kind of fearful topic, but we need to enjoy our life. Okay, so but we need to take food in correct portion, and at the same time, we need to keep being active. So next is, let's define what is atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis is a condition in which artery walls are getting thicker. Let's relate the cause and effect. How might atherosclerosis and hypertension related? As the arteries narrow, the blood pressure increase. So, now I get it. Now I know that two cardiovascular diseases are atherosclerosis and hypertension. I will continue this topic in part 2. See you there.